Hello everybody, it is Hunter, and I am back in River Falls. And I got a new lens over Christmas. I wanted to test out setting up my equipment in this new room. I asked you, my lovely friends, to submit me some questions over on my various social medias, and I'm gonna just be doing a fun little travel and life Q&A video in this. Austin asks, favorite country you visited and why? Okay, I'm gonna get this out of the gates right away and then you'll know this for the rest of the video. The 6 countries that I went to were Scotland, England, Ireland, Denmark, Norway, Sweden. I did most of the UK and then most of the Scandinavian countries. My favorite country that I went to, I don't know how to answer this. See, I was in Scotland the longest by far. That's where I stayed. That's where my program was set. So I definitely did the most in Scotland and seen the most in Scotland, let alone learned, because I had 2 Scottish history classes, and it's definitely, of the places I went and got to experience, the best place to go. The Scottish Highlands are easily one of the coolest places I've been, the coolest place I have ever been in my entire life. So Scotland definitely wins in that regard. Because everything looks like a fairy tale there, and if you know me, that might make sense. Next, an anonymous user says, everything okay? I am doing better than I was in October and December. That's it, moving on. Peyton asked, what was the biggest culture shock you experienced on your travels? Oh boy. I would have to say that I have like 6 or 7 of these that really kept continually coming up while we were over there. Nothing extremely shocking. The one that definitely comes to mind first is the drinking culture in Scotland and Ireland. Obviously, we in the States hear about it and it's kind of one of the national jokes of the country, but you don't really know until you're there. And it's wild, and not in like a, well, I don't know. I never went out a single time. I don't drink, if you don't know. And just seeing other people do things and how it affected them while over there. But yeah, I would say that was the biggest culture shock for sure. There were definitely some other ones. I'm actually thinking about making a whole video on this in the future, and if you're interested in that, I would really like to hear about it. And if you have any of your own major culture shocks, share them down below, because I want to hear some crazy ones that people have came into. Because some other ones that like I would never have expected before going there is dog culture in Scotland and England. They're everywhere, and they're not on leashes. I don't think Americans really know how much off-leash culture is just the norm. Highlands were crazy, and just outside of Edinburgh where we were staying. Adrian asked me this question, what was your favorite place out of those that you visited? And I am considering this different from the favorite place you traveled question, because favorite place to visit, which is the keyword in this one, I think, I would say there's definitely different categories you can break this down into. If you're a person who likes specifically hiking and adventure, of the places I went, I would still probably say Scotland. However, if you're a person who wants like a vacation experience and to see things that like you've always heard about, you've always read about, if you're a theater kid, if you're a performance person, just to going out and doing that sort of thing, if you like seeing cool monuments, cool museums, England, specifically London, of course, from where I went is definitely where I would recommend. If you are a history buff or a big nerd, say Stockholm. I loved Stockholm, and it's the only city we went to that I didn't even get to do half of what I wanted to do. I want to go back to Sweden. And then a shout out to Dublin, which was just, it's like Glasgow if Glasgow was nice. Dublin was just a very pleasant city. One of my favorite specifically cities that I went to. If you could go back to one country, where would it be and why? Obviously, I want to go back to Isle of Skye, obviously. However, of the places I already went that I want to go back to, Stockholm, 100%. There's just so much I didn't get to do there. There's this one restaurant called IFA, which is literally like the sole reason I picked Stockholm to do, and it didn't happen. And we walked outside. I seen it from the door. I didn't see anything inside, but it's basically a completely Viking themed restaurant. The menu is like food the Vikings would have ate in that time period. It's like in an underground thing. Where it's served. I found out about this place forever ago, actually, because the Critical Role team went about it, and Matt talked about it in an interview he did with Sean, Jacksepticeye Sean, and I've wanted to go ever since. And then I went to Stockholm and didn't do it. I also have a friend who lives outside of Stockholm that I didn't get to see, and she was the only friend who I didn't get to see out of all my online friends that I set out to go visit. So yeah, and had probably the best museums of any of the countries that I went to. Another Anon question: if you can live anywhere other than the US, where would it be and why? I mean, I could definitely live back in Edinburgh because I know where everything is. It's a very, very well structured and laid out city. Dublin, by that same measure, very well laid out. Everything is there. Very big cultural hub with just amazing things all around it. Great day trips, all accessible. However, I have to say, even though I only went to England for 4 days, I think, it still won my heart. England has just always been where I have wanted to go, and despite Scotland and Ireland objectively being cooler, I think the culture itself of England and London is just, it makes me happy. Someone asked me, what's the food like? Lucky for you, I have this video right here where you can go find out. Yeah, I have a whole video on this where I tried Scottish foods. I will briefly mention some other cool foods I got to have. I got to have traditional Swedish meatballs, which were very good. I tried making them at home and it went very wrong. I wanted to make a fun cooking montage video for YouTube, but I had the footage, but the taste was bad. I mean, if you go to Sweden, you gotta get the meatballs. I feel like that's an obvious. When we went to Ireland, I wanted to have mashed potatoes, for the meme, really badly, but I literally couldn't find them anywhere. We kept going to different bars and pubs, and they never just had, a meal that had, a focus on mashed potatoes. And then one night we went to a traditional Irish pub, and
Wednesday's done. Good morning, your mayor. A penny a point, ain't no one.
They had, a side of mashed potatoes, and I got it there just to say I had it, but it was, not seasoned in a bowl just by itself, and it was very underwhelming, sadly. I had some great food in a couple places. Copper Alley Bistro in Dublin is phenomenal. There is this chain of coffee houses in Scandinavian countries, I believe called Espresso House, which has a lemonade, which I asked if they had strawberry lemonade, and they made me one custom at 2 different places I went to, so you could probably try this hack, and it is phenomenal. If I can find the picture of it, I'll throw it up here. It's a very pretty drink also, and it tastes so good. I had so much good food. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Oh, in Denmark, we went to a restaurant called The Midwesterner, which was funny because it was Midwest United States themed, and they had I kid you not, Wisconsin fish fry option, and I got it just because, and it was very good. However, they had comically large drinks, and we went with my Danish friend, and it was just very funny. Why? And very poke, jab at America, which, is funny, I guess. Also in Denmark with Anna, I went to a Korean barbecue for the first time in my life, a real one that you see in webtoons and K-dramas, and oh, it was so good. I loved all the food. Korean food is so good. Maybe I should just go to Korea. I mean, I want to. Anyone want to go to Korea? 2 people asked me if I'm seeing anyone right now. No, not currently. And that is all you're getting on that front. Such, who was the last girl you texted? Kenzie. I texted wonderful Kenzie, who I will throw a picture up here of, because we are hopefully going to hang out on Tuesday. Okay, I got such a fun question from Tabitha. Tabitha asked me, is European theater any different from American theater? This is a really cool topic. So I went to I went to 4. Oh god. Yes.
It was at this moment that she knew. She fucked.
I went to 4 abroad. I went to Hamilton and Wicked on West End, and then I seen My Fair Lady. Oh no, I went to 5. That can't be real. How did I do that? I went to 5? Whoa! You just watched me go through a small mental breakdown. Whoa! I also went to Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat and My Fair Lady in Edinburgh Playhouse, and I went to Book of Mormon in the Glasgow Royal Theatre, I think. I would say the differences are, they're there for sure. The biggest one out of the gate for people who are Broadway nerds would be that you have to pay for playbills. You don't just get them, and it's a weird culture where they cost £5 to £7 from my experience per place you go, which in our money in current exchange rate is it's $6 to $10 per playbill. They're bigger than ours also, which I found interesting. I would show you, but I have them at my house and not here. Also, you're allowed drinks in the theaters there for the most part. They serve alcohol, and a lot of people do it. Allowed to bring them into the theater. This is a cool thing that my friend Megan actually found out, and that there isn't like a set intermission time. Intermission is actually dictated by bathroom lines in a lot of places, in the UK at least, which I thought was really interesting, which is catering to the audience more, and that's kind of a general theme throughout all fine arts abroad that I noticed, which is so, like, America, why aren't you like this? They just like the theater community there. Like, fine arts is supported. People have like active discounted memberships to get like kids into theater. They're always like almost half off or more. College students are encouraged to go. I did a whole paper about this, of just how they help support the fine arts and general youth in Scotland, Edinburgh especially, but also it seems like around London as well, which is just really cool. Just getting kids interested and active in arts communities and actually supporting and fostering that community, which I think is so important. Oh, I almost moved on without mentioning the best part. Tickets are so cheap. Had amazing seats for Hamilton for $60. I got screwed over at Wicked, so I paid more than I should have, so I got semi-bad seats for $30. I paid over $70 in total because I had to buy tickets twice, but that's another story. I seen My Fair Lady for $30. I think I seen Book of Mormon for $25, and I think I saw Joseph for £13, 15 US dollars. Insane. Like, America could never. Hamilton tickets here in Minneapolis for next month are like over $300 for the worst seats right now. It's absurd, and it's like that everywhere in the States. It really is. Okay, this is a really fun question. We're moving over to Twitter now. From Hosiest Cozier, or Czar. Czar asked, what was your favorite thing about Europe, and what is your day-to-day life look like as a film student? Great question. Favorite thing about Europe, 100%, is public transportation. Even planes, and like including planes, just transportation within Europe is eye-opening, is really the best way I can even think to put it. Living in Edinburgh, I thought that was amazing. And then we went to London that last month, and I seen how good public transportation can be if done correctly, and it just makes me want to, like, I don't even know. Saying it to everyone who asks me, the best thing about Europe is the transportation. Like, honest to God, phenomenal. It is my favorite thing about being, it was my favorite thing about being over there. Like, my plane ticket, after I became, like, well-versed in, like, how to buy the best tickets and using the right codes and getting offers through different websites, I went from Norway to Sweden for $20. And that's just a thing you can do. There are a bunch of videos up on YouTube. You can go, I took the cheapest plane ticket in Europe, and you end up in an amazing country on an amazing journey. And they can even be cool countries. I seen a flight to Milan, Italy one day that was $15 from Edinburgh, and I was like, if I didn't have a class going on, I would go to Italy. To answer the second part of that question, what does day-to-day life look like as a film student? So my school is really interesting, and my major is called Stage and Screen Arts, so I am required to do theater and film side. I have a focus in film, so that is what I'm most interested in. That's the semi-career I want to go towards. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I also am in the process of picking up another major. I'll probably talk about that more in length sometime in the future. So I will be a double major. But currently, this semester, I'll just read you my schedule. My J term just finished, and I took a class called American Musical Theater. It was the history of American theater and New York's Broadway perspective. And I am currently taking documentary film production, which I'm so excited about, and actually ties into another one of my classes that I will get to in a moment. And my Wednesday, Monday, Friday class is U.S. history from 1865 to present. Light and sound for stage and screen. However, I have worked in theaters before, and I do enjoy it, and it's a very useful skill set, just knowing how to work lights. So regardless. Also, that whole class is being taught, like, in an actual theater, and we're getting hands-on experience with that, so that's interesting and fun. And then my biggest class of this semester, and also I think the biggest or the second biggest class in my major, is web series productions. So this is SASA 460 is the number for this class, and it is essentially a class where a bunch of film students and a couple others get together, and they have to write, produce, act, manage, document, edit, everything. They have to build, write, everything. and shoot, obviously, a web series from complete scratch in a span of 4 months, and then there is a big showing at the end of the semester where we get to present our work. I, this year, am the lead documentarian, an assistant, my brain just shut off, an assistant director of photography. I might fill in as a grip if I need to. And then also I will be probably the lead of photography, reporting to the marketing team. So yeah, I am, oh, this is what I mentioned before, my documentary class is spilling over into this, and I am heading the documentary of the web series. So other than that, life as a film student, I hang out with my theater friends most of the time, who are all mostly into Dungeons and Dragons and similar things that I like, which is nice about, I think, just theater and film kids in general. There's a lot of common overlap, especially because, like, such a hinging part of those careers revolves around, you know, movies and a rather limited amount of major Broadway things. So we all know and like very similar things in my major, which is cool. And I think something a lot of people in other majors don't necessarily get to see. I have so many like fully written out scripts in the form of papers I have written for class. So if I ever want to just do like video essays, I have a ton that I'm quite passionate about and could definitely deliver on. Next up from Twitter, we have at Blood Upon Leda, aka the Swan of Leda, which, if you can't tell, I'm on Hosier Stan Twitter. Stream Hosier. What did you like the most and least about each country? Oh boy, that's a big question. I'm gonna do the first thing that pops into my head, because that's a big question. Scotland, the best. Scenery and castles. Least, the alcohol and the people. We're gonna speed round. I take no liability for what's about to come out of my mouth. Ireland, the best. Seeing Bo and going to Bray. I went to Bray. Oh, that's ironic. A Hosier fan asked this question. I went to Bray because of Hosier. I laid on the beach in Hosier's hometown, which was a crazy experience. So when I was in the Scottish Highlands, I played in a week while staring off over a cliff in the rain underneath a double rainbow. And I felt like I was ascending. Least thing about Ireland, food is really expensive. Trains are weird there. Okay. England, best. Broadway culture and buses. Sherlock Holmes, worst. Expensive. Water. Worst is water. I spent $5 on normal tap water in one place and I was so mad. The worst fish and chips in England and the best in Ireland. England, you have some explaining to do. Denmark, best. Anna and pretty buildings everywhere. Christiania was cool. Worst. Weird layout. Norway. So we went to Oslo. I'm gonna preface that for Norway. Best. Scenery. Big boats. Cool museums. Worst. What the fuck is there to do in Oslo? It's so boring and quiet, and all the tourists I talked to were very confused. It was like it's like a massive city that's a ghost town. If anyone has been to Oslo, I desperately want your opinion on this. Please leave it below, because I need so much more information. I want to go to North Norway. Don't recommend Oslo. Sweden, Stockholm. Beautiful old town. I almost said meatballs. No. Oh, boats. Vasa. The Vasa Museum was the best there. I didn't get to do everything. Was that the place where everything was really expensive for buses? How did we do buses in Sweden? I have no memory of this. I know Norway, we accidentally got on some buses and didn't pay. Sweden had the normal buses, I think. I think we just paid, and that one was fine. Oh, we had to walk a lot in Sweden. We kept getting, that was our thing in Sweden. We kept getting lost, but it was fine, because everything was really cool there. Next we have a mutual I have on Twitter. I'm gonna read their display name just as it's written, because it's how I've always said it, and I think this is what the reference is. It's Hosier. I think it's the noise you make at cats, like trying to summon Hosier. That's what I've always thought this name was. otherwise known as @MushroomSteve. They asked me, did you have a Wigan Kebab? No, I did not. I had never heard of this. I looked it up, actually, and I feel like I'm being punked. I don't know what this is. Is this a real thing? I guess so. Why does it look like this? Please answer the question. Please answer. I would really like to know. I've seen kebab and I was like, oh, it's gonna be a normal kebab, which I did have a couple of while there because oddly they're really big in Scotland, which I didn't know. Next from Malty Meow, aka Jingle Jinky on Twitter. Did you visit any historical areas? If so, which ones were your favorite? I feel like this is a trick question because everywhere in Europe is a historical area. I went to so many. Oh my god. Went to like Big Ben and London Eye. But actual historical places, I would say the super windy castle at the very northern tip of Isle of Skye. St. Andrews is really cool in Scotland. The Vasa Museum in Stockholm, Sweden is phenomenal, very cool. We went to the semi-active military base in Oslo just because we were near it and we walked around it. That's really cool. A lot of museums. I tried counting this once and I literally kept losing track because we went to over 30 museums is what I essentially gathered throughout our trip there. So many. Castle in Denmark that Anna took us to was also very cool. I don't remember the name of it though. Starts with a C. It's like Christianborg or something. Oh no. If Anna sees this, she's gonna kill me. Arbaz Khan asks, which country is best to travel? To travel, if you're looking to travel around a singular country, Scotland or Norway, from what I've heard. If you're looking for a city within a country that has good transportation, Edinburgh or London. My mom chimed in, next time you go, can I go with you? I would love to go back. If you want to go, I will go in a heartbeat, but you don't want to go on a plane. So that's up to you, Mom. I'll go. You just tell me time and place. I'll go. I'll even pay. Let's do it. I will happily go back. Oh, and what a fitting question to end on. The last one from my good friend Bo. I hear Ireland had a super awesome tour guide. Not a question, but Bo, I miss you dearly, and you were an amazing tour guide. And I met Bo online through the old live streaming app Periscope, if anyone remembers what that is. And somehow I have known them for like 8 years now, and I met and hung out with them twice in Ireland. Absurd things I can say happened. How did I meet 3 online friends while over there? The world's a wacky place. Right, that was a very long video, and believe it or not, I have about 50 minutes of footage to sort through for this mess. I keep doing it to myself, I don't know how. But anyways, thank you for watching. Hit the subscribe button. We're trying to grow. Growth is the new year objective. Smash the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again real soon, hopefully. Alright, bye-bye.